Quick shop tip. I have this L39, hated the paint. So, got a couple cans of spray paint and totally changed her. Gonna do some cool stuff with her as far as graphics and such. But one thing I really wanted, and on the top, I wanted a light. On the bottom, I wanted a strobe as well. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to put it in a light like that. Stick around. Okay, we're gonna put a light in right here. And what I'm going to do is cut a hole with a 38 special piece of brass that has been chamfered and sharpened. And I use it to remove, basically make a perfect cut, which is, interestingly, around the same size as what I need with this spare light that came out of another plane. It's a white light. I want to put a strobe right there. So I'm going to kind of just guess I'm going to put it right about as soon as I commit. It's all over. And what I'm going to do is just go in a little bit. About that much. And then I'm going to take my hobby knife with a brand new blade and start cutting into this. Cut it from the other side. Can't see it, sorry. I got a nice little hole. Now I need to punch a hole through all of that for my wire plug. I like taking a rat tail file. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I got to do a little bit pre-drilling prior. And I don't want to. Right underneath here is my antenna for this thing, so I don't want to run through that tube. Got that. Okay, that's done. Now all I need to do is run this part through and push that through. There we go. I got this right like that. Perfect. Now, the next step is, because I just can't have that light sitting like that. So, I don't know if you can see it, I made these little covers. And pretty easy to do with my 3D printer. Making a mold, I'll kind of show that a little bit. Making a mold, and then that mold with thin plastic, heated it up with a heat gun, shoved it into the mold, and now I have kind of a beveled round little area for the light to fit in. And you don't want the light too deep. You need it up a little bit, up a little proud, so it shows in all directions. And then we'll take this and plug it into the strobe light in the blue box or the blue board on your flight line, or whichever you could get a separate blue box for lighting with strobes and flashing and whatever you want to do. Anyway, so that's all set up. Curious how well it works. I haven't glued anything in yet, but it was actually that simple. And voila, I've got myself a neat little strobe on top that's flashing away. So now when I fly, maybe I'll see that a little bit better. If anything, it's kind of cool. All right, I just glued it in. I didn't have the camera on, but anyway, I just use a little Yoo-hoo pour, any kind of, I think, clear, flexible contact cement, as long as you trust it with the plastic you're using and with the foam you're using, and just a little bit. There's not a lot of pressure, and then that's it. You're done. So here's something I printed out on my 3D printer. If you can see, there's a cavity there and rounded top there. I take a small piece of plastic here, usually about the same size. I cut it there, heat it, put it over, heat it with a heat gun until it starts to get real melty. And then I shove these two together hard, and what comes out is that little, basically rounded plastic that then I take a pair of scissors, cut it off, and it looks something like I had showed you before. And it looks like that when you're all done. And now you got to cover. You could do all kinds of different ones. I've done ones for winglets with similar configuration here. You know, just plug, heat it, shove this in, and then you have cut that off, and you have lens covers on both sides of your wings, or whatever you want to do. Kind of a neat tool. Another reason to get a 3D printer, I guess. If you don't have a 3D printer, you could probably make something out of wood, a 2x4, and a dowel rod. And just, do the same kind of thing. Heat up the thin plastic, and you get the plastic at your local hobby shop. Heat it up with a heat gun, and then just mold it. Hey, a word of caution about LED lights. If you power them with improper voltage, too high a voltage, they'll burn out. You'll ruin them. So be real cautious on how many volts that your LED requires. If you look on the tag on these that I have, it'll say 3 volts. Some will say 2.5, whatever it is. A safe bet is use one of these, like FreeWing Motion RC LED controllers. You'll be pretty safe with that, and you'll have the options to have strobe or flashing or turn them on when the landing gears go down, things like that. So good luck, have fun. If you have a comment, if you have a question, leave a comment. Thanks.